In response to the release of footage showing how Tyre Nichols was beaten to death by 5 Memphis police officers, Tucker Carlson decided to fearmonger about the likelihood of riots taking place across the country. So here's what he had to say. We'll give you the reality when we come back.
We are beginning to suspect that the violence expected in Memphis tonight is not organic. It's not just outraged people taking to the streets. Why are we guessing that? Because similar violence is also expected tonight in cities across the country. As we speak, Antifa is coordinating riots on both coasts and in between. That would include Seattle and Portland, Oregon, and Los Angeles, California, as well as Atlanta, Georgia, New York City, suburban Washington, D.C., et cetera, et cetera. Barricades are going up right now in Times Square. The NYPD is worried about attacks on police and potentially public transportation. Antifa is being organized by whom? We don't know. Why don't we know? To do what? We can't say right now. But we know for certain that in cities across the country right now, Antifa is mobilizing to commit violence.
So it turns out none of that happened. The only thing I saw, like conservatives were just like, oh, reaching. Was there anything that we can use against the protesters? Oh, protesters block traffic in Venice, California. Protesters block traffic in Seattle.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
is that what the legendary Antifa organized for? Blocking a little bit of traffic in Seattle.
Giant riots.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Yeah. Giant riots.
What I loved is at the end when he said, we know for certain that Antifa is organizing riots that are going to happen tonight.
Oh, do you? Cool.
Oh, really?
Show the receipts.
Where's the riots? I mean, you knew for certain, Tucker, right? And you would never lie to your audience, right, Tucker? I mean, you wouldn't make up out of whole cloth that Antifa had organized all these riots that never occurred. What he was hoping for was riots in a couple of cities out of legitimate organic anger, so he could come back the next night and say, see, I told you, Antifa secretly organized. We don't know who's organizing them. It's probably Jewish people, but they're being organized, okay? And they're so powerful, Antifa. Well, it turns out there was no organization. It wasn't Antifa. Tucker Carlson, as usual, made up the entire thing. Anyone who believes Tucker Carlson on anything is an idiot. Idiot.
And look, of course he's gonna go with that narrative because it is the opportunity to pivot the story from what the actual story is, the brutal police beating and death of Nichols, to instead focus on the left is bad, the left is violent, you should be afraid, be afraid, be afraid, be afraid, divide and conquer. That is what Tucker Carlson engages in, and it allows him to avoid having to genuinely address the real topic at hand, which is state-sponsored violence in this country that we keep seeing happen over and over and over again.
Last 2 things, later in the clip, he was like, there's an Antifa protester organizing in Frederick, Maryland. Oh, Frederick, Maryland, that night was just a blaze. Of course, nothing happened in Frederick, Maryland. He found one rando online that said something and he's like, aha, Antifa organizer. I wonder who's behind him. But his audience loves that crap. They love it. They go home and they're like, yeah, who do you think was behind it? Antifa riot. Okay, that's why he serves them up that nonsense. So January 6th, by the way, that was organized. We know who organized it. They showed the receipts in court and people went to jail. And it was not organic, it was organized by right-wing leaders. That is why they always do projection. Whenever they see any of you guys getting pissed off about something and going to the streets, whether it's the Iraq war, it's this, it's anything else, they go, oh, it's not organic. It must be their billionaires organizing it, because that's what they do on their side. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.